You love it! We are back here on the Stop Motion Cup Series Racing Network for another Daytona event, the Daytona 500, this time with a little bit of a different style of car though. That's right, as you can see in front of you, this is the COT miniseries. We're going to be having 5 great races in this mini-season as we now start to pan down the drivers, getting a little bit of an early glimpse at your starting lineup. But yes, we'll be doing 5 races, and at the end of those, we'll take the total points and determine a champion among them. We have a mixture of cars from 2008 to 2010 here, so no true year can be assigned to this. But it's all for good fun, after all. Here are your ones to watch. Jimmie Johnson is your pole sitter, and he won the Daytona 500 in 2006. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is our Duel 1 winner, and he's a 2004 winner. Jeff Burton is the Duel 2 winner, and he could join his brother in the 500 club. Kevin Harvick was fastest in final practice, and he won in 2007. And your drivers going to the rear, Kurt Busch for unapproved adjustments, and Gordon, Newman, and Edwards for a wreck they had in Duel 1. As you can see here through our hastily grabbed image, as we couldn't afford the whole clip, they will be starting in the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get racing at the World Center of Racing. Drivers, start your engines.
They've got those engines fired and they are rolling off now. Here's your starting lineup for today's race. On row 1, Jimmie Johnson and Mark Martin. On row 2, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Burton. Row 3, Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick. Row 4, Joey Logano and Greg Biffle. Row 5, Denny Hamlin and Clint Bowyer. Row 6, Marcus Ambrose and Casey Kane. Row 7, Juan Pablo Montoya and AJ Allmendinger. Row 8, Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch. Row 9, David Reagan and Kyle Busch. Row 10, Michael Waltrip and Martin Truex Jr. Row 11, Brad Keselowski and Elliott Sadler. Row 12, David Rudiman and Eric Almirola. Row 13, Ryan Newman and Jamie McMurray. Row 14, Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte, and rounding out your field in row 15, Carl Edwards and Dario Franchitti. Here are your keys to the race. There will be 10 laps scheduled in this race. Will teammates work together, and these drivers need to focus on surviving the big one, should it come to happen today. Alright, I think these drivers and fans are ready to get going. We are going to be green just a few seconds as the crowd get on their feet. Pace car coming down pit road. Wonderful petty scheme there. We are green at Daytona. As they come through turn 2, bit of a teammate start there, but already looking like Mark Martin's going to get stuck out there by Jeff Burton. As it looks like the Hendrick teammates of Johnson and Jr. We're going to try to get out a little bit of a lead there, but not quite able to. As now we're on lap 2. They're going 4 wide with the RCR teammates of Harvick and Burton going to the front now with Logano behind them. Already some crazy moves up front. 3 wide consistently now up front. But we have a little bit of a breakaway here with those 2 RCR cars. And we have a spinner! It's Logano on the front stretch and he has hit the wall. The caution is out. Tough luck for the, depending on how you want to associate this, rookie or non-rookie of Joey Logano. Here's your replay of what happened. It looked pretty clear, but he tried to clear in front of his teammate of Hamlin. The timing just wasn't quite right. Not too surprising for a young driver, such as he. Gonna be an unfortunate way to start off the mini-season for him, as even one DNF in this little season can really ruin your chances of winning a championship, though to be fair, how many of us were really expecting him to win it? He is the only driver truly involved in this wreck, and he's already, as we said, going to the garage. He's alright though. Race off pit road, Burton maintains the lead, but The 11 and 17 cars gained some positions as Kevin Harvick had a bad pit stop. And we have a pit road penalty for Tony Stewart. He was speeding on the exit and will be going to the back of the field. So here are your restart positions, with Burton and Hamlin on the front row, with the Roush teammates of Kenseth and Biffle behind them. Alright, we are getting ready again, and green flag here on lap 4. Still side by side. It looks like actually the 11 car of Hamlin got a little bit better of a launch there. It'll be interesting to see if any of these teammates try to do anything exciting. There we go already. Oh, but not exactly, as it looked like those Roush cars were going to team up, but no, not quite. As we're now on board with Matt Kenseth here on lap 5. Quite interesting, that. As it looks like now the 42 car is going to go up the middle, and he's going to get in line with the Kenseth, but now they're going to try to pull a move on the Roush cars. So hard not to say RFK. As Hamlin's still leading. And now we have the 33 car of Clint Bowyer. He has blown up his engine. As you can see on the little screen on the side there. He's going to be out of the race, but they're currently double wide. And we have a spinner. We have a crash in the backstretch, and it's a big one. 6 or 7, gosh dang it, cars. Caution is out. Indeed, 7 cars involved. A bunch of Roush cars, as we can see here. A bunch of front runners. Caution is out. Kane is leading. The red flag has now been displayed. Here's the replay of the incident. Yeah, it looks like the 42 tried to block the 17 there as he got a run. And yeah, nope, did not work. He tried to correct it before it tried to go spinning to the inside. And that's a mistake that he made that's going to cost these other 6 guys, maybe not all of them, but more than likely all of them, a chance to win today's race. As we are only going to have a few laps left after this red flag is lifted. But yeah, nowhere for the 16, the 6, the 11, 88, 19 to go. Looks like the 19 actually is going to be able to get to pit road. They might be able to repair that damage. Your drivers involved: David Reagan, Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, and Matt Kenseth, Elliott Sadler, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Dale Jr. Tough luck for those guys. Almost certainly won't be winning today's race. We're hearing reports that the 19 car should be able to get back on track, but even with that damage, it's just going to be too much probably. Yep, as we get a look now at those drivers, we have 8 drivers out of the race now. Only 22 left in it. As now the caution flag conditions are back on. Here are your mid-race notes. The most positions gained in this race, Carl Edwards with 24. Most positions lost would be Johnson with 15. And will there be another big one, as we will still have, I believe, 3 laps to go when they hit the green. First off, though, they had the race off pit road, and Kyle Busch gained a couple of spots on Kane and Harvick. Not a good day for Harvick's pit crew. So he's going to have the, I guess, the best starting position for this restart, next to Casey Kane, with Harvick and McMurray behind them. Looking back there, that cluster, the 39, 99, and 24 from earlier. They had some damage in the duels, but they're up front now. It'll be interesting to see what happens here on lap 8 as we are green again. Already going into turns 1 and 2. There was a penalty, by the way, that we forgot to mention for Brad Keselowski in the 09 car. An equipment violation. Probably the end of his chance of finishing well today. But we'll see about that, as now Kane has been dropped down the middle. As now it looks like Kyle Busch is going to try to block both lanes. He's doing it successfully so far. But now Kevin Harvick is going to get alongside him. Here are your Toyota top performers so far. Kyle Busch, David Rudiman, and I believe that was Allmendinger, if I read that correctly. Top 3 Toyotas right now. Still side by side here up front. Kyle Busch managing to hold the momentum to the white flag here at Daytona with McMurray beside him. Newman and Edwards behind them. Gonna be some Roush teammates now making some moves on the outside. McMurray has the advantage with his teammate of Carl Edwards, but now the 5 car has managed to get back up there with his manufacturer teammate of Newman. And it looks like there's some passing on the outside, and Ryan Newman's gonna come through to win the Daytona 500! Wow, what a finish here at the World Center of Racing. Ryan Newman wins the Daytona 500. Great for him and his sponsors, or I think it's just sponsor. Could be wrong about that, we'll find out. Here's a replay of that final lap. A lot happened there. We might have missed some of it. Still side by side, they were going into turns 1 and 2. Newman made the move on Busch coming out of turn 2. The Roush teammates on the outside, McMurray and Edwards, looked like they were going to have the advantage until the 0-0 car of Rudiman got around Edwards. That stalled their momentum, and that gave Mark Martin just enough energy to push Ryan Newman to a victory. So here are your final results from today's Daytona 500 race. Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray, Mark Martin, David Rudiman, and Carl Edwards are your top 5. Some other notable finishers. Michael Waltrip finishing 11th, good for him. And the drivers that didn't finish quite as well today. Those last guys, I believe it's 23rd on down, did not manage to even finish today's race. Unfortunate start to this season for them, but they still have time, hopefully, to get back in this championship hunt. As you can now see, your point standings. Ryan Newman getting that advantage from winning a race. He has a 5-point lead over second in McMurray. Not a whole lot to say currently about these point standings. They're pretty much entirely reflective of how things went down in the race itself. What will be interesting to see is if some of these mid-pack drivers who are doing pretty well on points currently can manage to keep that going this season, or if a lot of these better cars further back, I'm looking at those 2 Roush cars, as well as Kevin Harvick, for example, or even some of these guys like Hamlin and Earnhardt, what they can do this season. Is their season basically over, or can they come back? So congratulations again to that 39 Haas team of Ryan Newman, as well as your sponsors who I believe will be coming up soon. But first, we are going to be going to Gateway for next race, race 2 of 5 in the COT mini-season. Yes, RCH Productions, congratulations to you as the main and only sponsor of the 39 car this season. I think I forgot to put a transition on that, that's funny. But yeah, thank you all for watching today's race. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to emulate the 2010 drafting package, tell me how I did on that. But yeah, have a great day everyone!